Man, it took me all day to fake this. It took me all day to fake this PSA chemical on urinalysis that I had, which led them to tell me that they thought that I could have had prostate cancer. And then I looked into the misdiagnosis of it, and it occurs in 50.6 of men. They get misdiagnosed because of this. Okay? So this is what they saw in the Clean Catch Midstream urinalysis that they told me, because my prostate was enlarged and there were some lesions there. So when they saw this high protein in my urine and the abnormal clarity and the blood in my urine and the leucites in my urine, right? When they saw all this, this is when they told me that they thought that I was at stage 1 prostate cancer. All right? But they put me on Flomax, right? Flomax helps your prostate to soften up so you can pee better. But this is what they saw. Okay, and this is why they were telling me this, right? So then I went and got a second opinion after they told me that they were looking at prostate cancer stage 1 because of the size of it, right? So this is what they told me. This is what they told me. So I went with it. This is a doctor, man. You got to believe everything they say, right? So I went with that. So that's why I said I've already been diagnosed with stage 1 prostate cancer, right? Because at that time, that's what I believed. And I hadn't had further testing done on it. But it was a misdiagnosis. I dropped the doctor for it. Let me show you. I dropped the doctor for it. Unfortunately, you can't sue. Let me see. I dropped him for that. But then the other one said they saw, then they started saying they saw something in my bladder. Right? And this was a better doctor. So I went ahead and let him do the cystectomy to perform the biopsy on that. And while they performed the biopsy, I was already worried about prostate cancer. Then they said they found a tumor. Then they did the biopsy. And the whole time I'm talking to people about what's going on with my medical here on YouTube. Then they did the biopsy, and it came back benign. Nothing. So I do believe that the day that I put up the video, my journey with bladder and prostate cancer, I think it was like the day after they told me that they were stage 1 prostate cancer. My wife was out in the lobby. And she did say, but we need to do further checking. All right. So the misdiagnosis, even if it's a misdiagnosis, you still get the worry of it all. But then when they came back and said they saw a tumor in my bladder and showed it to me and said, well, we have to do a cystectomy where we go in up through your penis. Right? They had to do one anyway on me because I had kidney stones. But I had 2 of them done. Anyway, they did this. He said they go up through your penis and then they insert inside of that tube that's already in your penis. They run this like a needle, like a grabber, and they grab a part of your blood, the part that was of the tumor that they can get, and then they send it out to have the biopsy done on it. And that's what they did. So for 2 weeks on YouTube, I was pretty worried about it. On top of my kidney issues, which I'll show you this too. My kidney issues, my kidney was shutting down. The several stones they had to remove. The shutdown was due to a 10 millimeter blockage. And so I was having kidney stones, kidney problems, prostate problems, back problems, heart problems, pre-diabetes, all this stuff. All right, I've already got a bad heart, and I've already showed that. But they've been able to maintain my blood pressure. So like I said, this is what he says. I faked all this. He says I faked this. Let's see here. Proteinuria, right? Proteinuria. When you got so much protein in your urine, they look at your liver and your prostate and stuff for that. And see, now I lost my mother to cancer, so I was even more worried about that. Hematuria, these and proteinuria. These are things that lead doctors to believe that you may have a prostate cancer. So, that leads them to believe that you have, the chance of prostate cancer, which is leading me. Vinny's digging. Vinny's false information is getting me to dig into finding out why they would have told me that when it wasn't correct. And I can see it. I can see why. You can see it here. Clearly why they may have thought that. Because I have all the other symptoms. So that's why they told me that. That's probably why that doctor said that. This is what they were worried about, right? Anybody can look this up. Triglycerides and leukocytes. So I'm looking into why they told me that. That's why. So one thing they did tell me is that the prostate gland and the tumor was found in the rear part of my bladder, which was like right in this area. So I think that maybe the doctor, it may have been swollen up that day, and maybe he saw it as in the prostate when the tumor was in the bladder. But that's the only thing I can think of. Because I haven't gone back to him and I haven't spoke to him since then. Since I had my primary doctor looked over the radiology and he did some blood work. And that's when he said, no, I wouldn't go back to that guy. He misdiagnosed. And I've got that video up. I just got to find it. Should have put not much right there, huh? The proteinuria is what caused them to. But I uploaded where I spoke to my doctor about it, my primary about it, and we dropped the urologist for coming out and saying that to me like that. He really didn't have to say that to me like that. Let's see. Oh. My blood pressure is outrageous. I lost a lot of weight. Hyperglycemia is another one. Hyperlipidemia. So they were trying to figure it out. And then I had a doctor tell me that. So he can call me a cancer scammer all he wants. The reason I was asking for people's help is because I'm not able to work over my back. Cancer wouldn't keep me from working. I'd work till the day I died as long as I could walk. There won't be any notes here. I just say that I've been there. Weight management. Because I'm 6'1" and 240. Yeah, I went off of that. This is just some of the medicine I'm on. That's for arthritis in the back. But you see here again, the hyperglycemia. Yeah. But, I'm just trying to show you that he's just misreading what was being said. I can't help that a doctor diagnosed me with something, and then they took it back. And I was going to file a claim on him, but you can't. You can't file a claim on him for misdiagnosis. I feel for the people who do have cancer, and they tell them they don't. That's what I feel for. But, it took me quite a long time to make all this up, Vinny. Oh, and all these medications are ridiculous. High blood pressure. Let me see here. This is for the kidneys. The potassium. This right now, I have to go back into the doctor and see it. But this right here, this tamoxifen, this Flomax, this is for the enlarged prostate. That's benign. So, I mean, Vinny, can you just say you made a mistake? So what I said was, I was diagnosed with it. He didn't play very much more of that after that. This is for osteoarthritis in the back. This is for pain for the back. This is, again, another refill for the hydrochlorothiazide that keeps my blood pressure down. This is another blood pressure. I don't take this anymore. I have an allergic reaction to it. The acetaminophen. And these are the other ones that I've got for pain, diclofenac. This is Visceral right here. And the Flomax and duloxetine. These medicines work somewhat. But not like I'd want them to. So if you just look at the medical records, and of course I said I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, but I never said I had it. I said I was diagnosed with it. And then I went on to explain that they're still testing that. But they said that. But due to the stuff that they see with the triglycerides and the high protein in my urine and blood and stuff like that. That's what they did. But let me show you this. I had a high level of white and red blood, RBC, WBC, and RBC. Hematuria. We just saw that I had that. So that's one. All right. And so since it's so close to the bladder, that's what they were going on. There was a tumor in my bladder. Plus the largeness of it. So the BPH is what they came up with. That's why they gave me the Flomax. Okay? So, but the doctors kind of, I know it now, but I didn't know it then. The doctors that doctor kind of jumped the gun. This is the same Euro that told me kidney stones don't cause you to have red blood in your urine. And if people remember me talking about it, he's the one that freaked out and said that you have stage 1 prostate. That was his diagnosis. That was his diagnosis based on the 3 factors that you'll see if you read up on what prostate cancer is and how it starts. I had the 3 symptoms. So he jumped the gun on that, and he freaked me out. And like I said, they did the bladder thing, and then there was nothing. It was benign. And I came back and said that. But he wants to run with this whole thing as if, I've got cancer, and I'm going into chemo. No. If I would have, I would have. I would have said so. So, if you drink too much, sometimes you can't understand what it is that you're hearing or reading. Thank God I don't drink.